live here at the Friedrichshafen Amateur Radio Show. I'm joined today with Paul Bigwood, G3WYW from Yaesu, and Paul has kindly come along and agreed to tell us about some of the new Yaesu products and specifically your digital options.
Our digital solution, yeah, System Fusion is what we call it. Yaesu has decided to go a different route from the other companies, and we have developed a different kind of digital solution which we call System Fusion. It's based on a C4 FM technology which gives us a data rate of around 9.6 kilobits, but the beauty of our particular product range is that it integrates both digital and analog users. So those analog FM 2-meter repeater users today, if they put the core central part of our system into, which is the DR1X repeater, they can continue to use that repeater in exactly the same way. But also, if some users buy and purchase the System Fusion digital transceivers or handhelds, they can transmit into that. They can use the digital features of this technology. So it integrates both old and new, and provides a way in which they can integrate and migrate from one to the other.
So if I understand you correct, you're doing dual mode operations, so
yes,
it will switch analog or digital
automatic, and that's the beauty of our particular technology, that if you program the repeater in a particular way, what we call auto mode, if you transmit FM to it, it'll retransmit FM. If you transmit digital to it, it'll retransmit digital to it. If you put it in fixed mode output, so that can be always FM, if you transmit into it on digital, it'll transcribe it into FM and shoot it out. So somebody with a modern brand new transceiver like an FT M400 or our even new one, FT100D, can transmit digital information into the repeater. It'll translate it and shove the audio out as FM. And of course what that does is that gives you the ability to, or the users to understand that these other guys are doing other things with digital and he doesn't take part, but then he goes and buys one of the radios and then can take part in that as well. So we see it as a way of migrating. Rather than investing, throwing everything out and starting again, you can invest and grow as your interest in the technology and the development of it occurs, because it's not a finished product. It's finished as a technology, but there are other products to evolution that'll come along as we go along.
Sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds very interesting on that, because if you can go in, say, FM and come out in C4
FM digital.
C4 FM digital.
We call it System Fusion. That's the protocol. Along with that, of course, we've also developed a range of products for this, right? And we're introducing two new ones today.
Right.
The FT2D, which is our first handheld dual mode touchscreen transceiver.
Right.
And then we have a cut down version of the FTM400 called the FTM100DE, which is a dual mode mobile transceiver. And again, in both the cases of the FTM400 and this one, the 100D, we've separated the front panel from the radio, so you just have a small front panel on your dashboard and you put the radio in the boot of the car.
Makes a lot of sense with modern radios.
A lot of sense with modern radios, it does indeed. All these radios have got GPSs in them, because obviously they transmit and send positional information. And then one of the technologies you can use, things like with the FTM400, is that there is a microphone with a camera on it. So you can take if you're in a field day operation or a rally, you're controlling a rally or something like that, you can take a picture of an incident at somewhere. First of all, everybody knows where everybody else is, because they're all transmitting positional information back to them, and you can see, because the guy can send you a picture over the 2-meter radio in digital FM of what actually he's seen or what's happened, which is obviously quite a useful thing.
That's very, very useful.
So we see digital as our System Fusion as a development way, and there are different ways it works, which I won't go into at the moment, in terms of digital and data and a combination of voice and data and that kind of stuff. We won't talk about that at the moment.
But a lot of your new radios are all coming out with the digital in it. I believe the 991's got digital.
Correct,
as well.
yes, indeed. And the FT991, which we can go and have a look at in a minute, also includes C4 FM digital capability, because that's a radio that is both an HF transceiver and also a VHF and UHF multi-mode, and includes C4 FM. So there are some bits it doesn't do, but you know, the idea of transmitting pictures directly from that unit with a plug-in microphone isn't something that you would do with that radio, but it can certainly do the rest of it.
That sounds good. Sounds good. Now, I'm showing my ignorance here, Paul. C4 FM. Is that for 2 meters and above, or can you do it on HF?
No, you can do it on 10 meters as well. You can't. C4 FM it means there are 4 carriers, frequency or phase shift modulated.
Right.
Basically, they are plus and minus a certain amount of, but the numbers are like 1.8, 300, so like 2 kc. So you occupy a fairly wide bandwidth. Yeah. So C4 FM on 40 meters would not be very popular.
Yeah, you wouldn't be very popular.
Not popular at all. But C4 FM on 10 meters would be fine.
That sounds good.
So it works on 10, and there are nets in the US. I've heard people talking about them on 10 meters using C4 FM, and it works quite well. Obviously, it relies on the propagation, and it's slightly more, because it's digital and there's error correction. It does do some of that, but you have to have a fairly good signal path for it to work. But it does work.
Yeah, sounds great.
So when 10's open, I expect to have a QSO across the pond on C4 FM.
So we're here with you on your Yaesu stand at Friedrichshafen. You've got aerials connected, because I've been around and looked at. Are you able to transmit?
No, we can't transmit.
That's a shame.
Yeah, we do have aerials of a sort.
Yeah.
They're pseudo aerials.
Yeah. No, I was guessing. You know, if a lift suddenly came on, you're going to be really upset.
No.
But it all looks very good, and a lot of your new products. We really need to keep an eye on your new products.
Yes. Yaesu is committed to the amateur radio market, and we see C4 FM or digital systems as a stepping stone, not only for us as a manufacturer, but for the users, because it provides the capability of experimentation and self-learning, which of course is the key central criteria of being a radio amateur.
It's all what amateur radio is about.
Exactly.
Isn't it?
So we see this technology as the way of doing that, as a building block for that.
Yeah. Well, I'd say thank you very much for that quick interview with you, Paul.
Nice to see you.
Maybe we'll catch up with you another show, and pleased to work with you.
Take care.
Thank you very much, Paul.